beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in yet again. We are going to be doing another workout on this video, but we're also going to do a little bit of a breakdown and explanation on building muscle, building shape, actually building size to your body, to wherever you want on your body. Started with my pre-workout. We're going to get started with pre-workout, and then I haven't even had it yet. Then we're gonna hit the gym, break it down, Dia, break it down, yes. And then we're gonna do a workout, and yeah, well, let's do it. I'm here at the gym, and I just wanted to go in a little bit more detail about progression overload, but I actually wanna show it to you so you have like a visual explanation as well, so you know what you're doing. So first things first is when you are choosing your reps and your sets, usually a good starting point is 3 to 4 sets per exercise, whatever it is you're doing. 6 to 12 reps depending on the weight that you're using. Personally, usually start around 10 and kind of go from there. But when it comes to actually building muscle and strength, you want to start with basics. Basic compound exercises, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. You know, it's different for everybody, body type, what kind of calorie intake you're doing. And it could take 6 months, it could take 8 months, it could take a year. If you want to grow or shape a certain muscle on your body, you want to pick that muscle group and you want to focus on it maybe 1, 2, 3 times a week. So that's why you don't want all these fancy, crazy exercises. You want to just focus on basic, compound, simple exercises, so that you know what your regimen is going to be, you know what your workout routine is going to be, and it's not going to get confusing or overwhelming. As you progress, then you can start changing it up. As maybe if you plateau, maybe if your body gets conditioned or used to something, you can change it up. A good time frame to kind of change up exercises would be maybe after 6 weeks. Whatever muscle group you're working, then switch it to something else that still is targeting and isolating that muscle, but it might be a different exercise. Just for our own mental, so you don't get burnout mentally, but physically you don't get burnout. We do need to change it up. We got a cable machine. Cable machine is way different than using weights or barbells or free weights. Because when you're using a cable machine, you have consistent resistance. So you're engaging different muscle fibers, and it's actually can be more difficult than just using gravity. You're gonna have to obviously pick a weight that you can start with. You want those last few reps to be a struggle, but you can still execute them without compromising form, and you can still do full extension on whatever exercise that you're doing. Once you get to that point where you're like, okay, that 10 reps was super easy, you're gonna bump it up. Every cable machine and how they do their weights is different. Each one of these have a little notch in it. So you're gonna start with, like this is 2.5 pounds. So you're gonna start with that. Do your exercise. Do just a basic straight bar bicep curl. Well, this is really easy. So I'm just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that was really easy. You're like, all right, I didn't fatigue out on that. I didn't struggle at all. So what you're gonna do, go up 7.5 pounds. Next set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe that was easy for you too. So you're gonna go up. Now we're gonna count again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I started slowing down on the last few reps, which is a good sign, being like, okay, that's a good weight there. So you want to stick at that weight for the rest of the sets, for however many weeks that you're doing that specific exercise. Blah, blah, blah. And then after you start getting like, oh, that 10 starts getting easier again at that weight, then you're gonna move up. So whatever exercise that you're doing, it could be rows, it could be curls, it could be presses, shoulder presses, it could be tricep kickbacks, it could be anything particular, any leg exercises too. So let's say you chose 15 pounds. So we're gonna do a row, for example. You guys know the row, so you're pulling this way with your dumbbell. say you're doing your 10 reps. You're rowing without compromising form. Everything's perfect. Everything's going great. You get to 10 reps without fatigue, without struggle. That was easy. Okay, that's where you want to start. You want to go up in weight. So most dumbbells go from 5-pound increments. So you got like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So the 15 was easy. Now you're gonna bump it up to 20. So do the same thing. Next set, you're rowing, rowing, rowing. Might still be easy, might be struggling. So you'll stick with 20. That's why you want to keep track as well. So you stick with the 20 until you can bump it up another 5 pounds. That is called progression overload. So you're using a certain amount of weight. You're doing it to fatigue. So fatigue could be 8 reps, 9 reps, 10 reps. Once you hit that 10 rep mark and you're not fatigued anymore at that weight, that's when you want to move up. And you'll repeat the same pattern with weight. That's where that progression overload over time. So sometimes your strength might take you 4 weeks to up weight, might take you less time. It's different for everybody and depending on your consistency to that program. Now, if you're using a weight that starts compromising your form, you need to drop it down. You do not need to keep using that weight. But if you're compromising form, or if you start pulling that weight or pushing that weight a wrong way, you're gonna eventually over time, might not hurt yet, but eventually over time it's gonna cause you injuries, or you're gonna start having physical issues over time. So it's all about correct form, the technique, and the progression overload over time. So don't push yourself too fast, too quick, too fast. So same thing goes for barbells and using weighted plates. You have to do the same thing when you're doing a barbell workout. You might just be starting out with just the bar at first. Then you might be adding like 5 pounds, the plates. And then you might be adding 10 pounds, then 15, then 20, 25. Again, the same rule applies when you're doing progression overload. So you're starting with a weight that you can manage without compromising form, but you fatigue out at your last couple reps. That is your max. That is what you're going to stick with over a period of time. Then once you start getting conditioned to that, you start getting strength, then you add more weight little by little over time. Everybody's different. It can take you 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks to really start building strength or making any kind of progress. So again, you have to gauge it off of you, what you're doing, the consistency, and how hard you're pushing yourself in your workout program. So you guys remember this style of training for that progression overload applies to any exercise, any weight that you're using. It could be any of these machines. It could be the free weights, the barbells, the dumbbells. It could be kettlebells. It could be the cable machine. So it applies to every single one, and every single different exercise or weight or machine that you're using is going to hit different. So your weight's not going to be the same for every single one. So you're going to have to kind of play around. You're going to have to kind of adjust and modify. This is where keeping a log and keeping track of what you're doing is super helpful and beneficial. So when you go back to it, then you know what you don't lose track of what you're doing. I'm all bundled up. It is below freezing here in Montana, so I had to get warm. My warm clothes on. So something that I can't stress enough to you guys when it comes to trying to build muscle, when doing like a bulking program, I get the question a lot, should I be adding cardio? I need to do cardio. I don't want to gain fat. I don't want to gain weight. The problem is you can't be doing cardio and expect to build muscle. You're burning calories. You're burning calories through lifting weights, and you're burning calories through cardio. If anything, when you are doing cardio and weightlifting, you're going to lose weight, but you're going to shape what you already have, but you're not going to actually add on. You're not going to actually build size to the muscles that you want to build. You're just kind of defeating the purpose when you're doing cardio and weights when you're trying to build muscle. want to focus all your energy, all your calories to your weight training program, not your cardio program. You need recovery days too. Because guys, it's like, it's trying to fill a cup as you're emptying it, you know? You need to be eating a little more than you're burning in order to repair, recover, and build muscle mass, lean muscle mass. Diet is honestly going to be 100% determining your success or your failure in your weight muscle building program. Depending on your body type, some of you might have a really hard time building muscle. This is where it's going to be very crucial, and you need to structure it properly. You can't just be trying to lift heavy, but not pushing yourself to the max, under eating and doing cardio at the same time. You're going to get nowhere. Your downfall too can be your food choices. So whole, natural, whole food carbs, lean proteins, your vegetables, your healthy fats, and not trying to get your calories in from packaged processed foods. You're going to keep your body fat under control. It's not going to get out of control, and you're not going to gain a massive amount during this period. So your food choices are really important. Your training, what kind of exercises you're doing, and also not doing cardio, and sticking with it for longer than just a few weeks. It takes time, especially if this, you know, you want to get somewhere, you want to achieve something. It takes time, it takes the patience, it takes the consistency, and like I said, pushing yourself to failure. You can't expect to make progress in something if you're only half-assing it. I know for my own self, and there's a lot of other accounts, YouTube, Instagram, that share a million different exercises that you could do for different muscle groups. But when it comes down to building muscle and building strength, you gotta go back to the basics. But for those of you that wanna build, that are starting out kind of from scratch, these are very important steps and very important things that you need to follow in order to be successful. It takes work, it takes hard work, and it takes time. You know, if it was easy, all of us would have exactly what we wanted. All right, just got home. Hi! Hi, puppies! Come here. Come here. Oh, so excited. Hi! Just want to add to the diet part for macros or for calories. To sum it all up, we need X amount of calories, which is your BMR, what calories you burn at just rest or daily life, just to sustain life, just to keep you going, keep body functions functioning normally, and just keep you alive, just keep you healthy. So we need a certain amount of calories just for that. And yeah, I would say for the most part, it's around 1,200, 1,300 calories generalized for majority of people. Now think of when you add exercise into that, and you're burning X amount of calories, that number goes down. So that's why we need to eat more. That's why we need to add more. Now it's not a lot, it could be 300, 400, 500 calories. Depends on the individual. It depends on what you're doing. And the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you burn, the more calories you need to be intaking just to maintain that. You can't keep eating a low amount of calories and expect to maintain the muscle that you have. and maintain a lean physique. Eventually, you're gonna be breaking down muscle tissue and you're gonna start storing fat. You're gonna plateau and you're gonna feel like crap. You might also not recover as well. You're gonna probably notice that you're gonna start storing fat, or your body's not gonna be burning fat efficiently. Now, when you are going into trying to gain muscle, you're gonna need more than that. Now, it's not a lot. I'm not saying like thousands and thousands of calories. It could be maybe an extra 800, an extra 1,000 calories, you know, from different macros, protein, carbs, fats, for an individual. Now that depends on your body type, depends on if you calculate it out, what your body burns specifically to you and your needs, and the amount that you're gonna need in order, because you're gonna have to eat in a surplus. Now, again, it's not a lot, but enough. And you can always start small. You can always start small and slowly increase over time. So what I actually do with a lot of my clients is we do small increases to their calories over time as you let your body adjust, see how your body responds to the calorie increase, and you go from there. And you can do that progression with your macros and your calories just the same as you do with your workouts. Remember that when going into a program like this, it's 100% diet, you guys, because anybody can work out, anybody can go lift weights, anybody can add weights, but the real work is your diet. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful and you can utilize some of the tips and suggestions that I've put in here for you and be successful on your own muscle building journey. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys' love and support and always just being a part of my journey all these years and everything that I do. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next video. Mwah!
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.